truth is, I never thought I'd let you go home. I never let you go. Y'all don't remember that old Fantasia? See, I came up when I was younger. American Idol was like a big thing. So salute to Fantasia. Who else won that thing? Look, black people, when we see one of ours, Ruben Studdard, when we see one of ours on a television show, like anytime I'm watching Family Feud, I don't give a damn. If the family's black, they got me. I'm rooting for the family to win the money. I don't care what they on. That's just how we give it up. So when I saw, back in the day, when I saw people like Ruben Studdard and Fantasia on American Idol, of course I was rooting for them full throttle. And then Fantasia could actually sing her ass off. Salute to Fantasia. She was recently up at the Breakfast Club doing an interview. And in the midst of this interview, she was asked about her relationship. She's married, all right? Salute to her husband. And she was asked about her views on kind of like, I think Envy asked her, because Charlamagne went there, Envy asked her straight up, how do you feel about relationships when the woman wants to be the guy and the woman? And Fantasia gave her honest opinion. So I'm going to read off some of her opinion, and then we're going to play a clip from her and her husband afterwards. She said, I feel like it's a generational thing. We can go real deep on that, but I think it's a generational curse and on how society has placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider, so then you so bad you can't be told nothing. So that's when the right man comes, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. You have to let the man be the head of the household in order to have a successful relationship. We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house, fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. I believe Fantasia went on to reference herself being the neck and her man being the head of the household. Her man can't move without, you know what I mean? You can't move without your neck moving. So I think she's referencing like she's still an equal and important in the relationship, but she clearly wants her man to lead the household, and I respect that. So we're going to play a little clip from Fantasia and her husband explaining their comment a little more, then I'll come back and we'll close this thing out. Let's play Fantasia and her husband speaking on her comments that she gave to the Breakfast Club.
So here's the issue. Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers. What's happened is men have abused that power. Forgive me, they've abused that gift. And we have been misled to think that it's something where it's a dominant spirit and we own every decision, we dictate everything, we rule with an iron fist. First of all, that's not love. What happens is, in my marriage, let me not speak for everybody, my marriage, I submit daily to the Most High. I stay in my scriptures. I continue to feed myself with things that help me build my character, to reshape my perspective that was messed up in the streets and dealing with different propaganda and programming and things like that, so that I can come to my wife from a pure position. So when I do that and she sees me and she witnesses over time that it's an authentic demonstration, her heart is moved and softened and compelled to submit to me. Yeah. What does that look like? That doesn't mean that I dictate every decision. I don't walk around the house saying what we're going to spend, how we're going to do it. We talk and we build. And I consider everything that's on her heart, her perspective, her position, her philosophy. I'll carefully weave that into my philosophy to figure out what's the best move for this family, keeping all of that in mind. Now, the moment I start to step outside of righteousness and I start to move from a place of emotion instead of analytics, she has every right to snatch that back because submission is a gift. When she sees me laying at the foot of the Father, she has no reason to withhold that from me. The problem is this. Men are not found in positions of leadership handling it with integrity. How you gonna lead your wife if you can't balance a checkbook? If you don't know what's going on in the stock market? You don't have a sound understanding of the finances. You can't create a budget. You don't understand what's going on in the educational system in your community that's impacting your kids. In order to lead, you got to be so far ahead of your family that by the time they come to you with a situation or a problem, you've already dived into it, done your due diligence so that you can give leadership. You don't lead from your genitals. You lead from a gentle place of understanding. And the more she trusts, the more she can let go of things that she don't have to deal with and focus on the things that edify her.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Fantasia, bro. I know she got some pushback, but I definitely know what she was saying. And people could call her out and say, Fantasia this, Fantasia that. Look, at the end of the day, it seems like she's in a happy relationship. And that's her perspective on her relationship and how she believes things go. Without going too far in detail, I definitely feel like society is trying to feminize men, right? I don't want to go too far into that because ain't no money in that. But I definitely feel like society trying to make men not be men. And to be real with you, I battle with shit all the time because I feel like for so long there were a lot of, to me, there's a lot of negative stereotypes that come with being a man, even from within the men community. Like a lot of shit that we promote and push, I don't feel like actually equals up to being a good man. But there are other things that I kind of look around and be like, yo, no, I think that's dope. So I give you 2 examples, right? So I don't like the whole tone of you should be loyal to your homeboys over your girl. Like that one never made sense to me in society, right? So you mean to tell me you're going to be loyal to this dude who could potentially stab you in your back, right? Like could lie to you, would probably smash your chick if he had the chance. If she was butt naked in the bed, he wouldn't think twice about smashing your chick. Over the chick that you lay your head at night, like the chick that'll give you her last, who probably has given you her last, who held you down when you was locked up, when you was in college, when you was struggling without a job. She was the one right there, would give you everything she got. Cook, clean, all that stuff for the house. And you gonna pick your homeboy? I never understood that. I feel like that's a negative stereotype that we promoted in the culture. But at the same time, I feel like in the culture, one thing that I don't like that I feel like, well, something that I feel like should be promoted is men lifting weights, men being competitive. I don't feel like we should look down on that, right? Like, I think men should be tough guys, should have that bravado, like should be. I like that. I like that because I think it makes men want to be manly. Right? Like, so it's like a give and take. Certain things I don't like about how men have been stereotyped, but I also still want men to be men and feel good about being that and feel good about being leaders in the crib. I'm talking about real men. So I respect what Fantasia said. I'm definitely trying to harness being the head of my household and lead the way for sure. I feel like that's what makes the best family when you're doing it the correct way though. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Fantasia's comments that she made on the Breakfast Club and then her comments that her and her husband made afterwards on social media. Talk to me, comment box below. Truth is, I never thought I'd let you go. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now, Mr.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.